Listen, let me tell you something real. They out here telling you be honest, be transparent, let everybody see the real you. But here's what they ain't telling you, and I need you to hear this. The more people know about you, the easier you become to manipulate. Now, I'm not making this up. The world doesn't reward raw truth, baby. It exploits it. They use your words as evidence. They store your feelings like they building a case against you. They act like they care, but trust me, they taking notes. Napoleon Bonaparte never told you to be honest with everyone. No, sir. He told you to be strategic, to be calculated, to be absolutely ruthless when the situation called for it. In a world where exposure is currency, the most valuable thing you can do is protect your inner world like it's Fort Knox. What you share becomes ammunition for somebody else. And what you keep to yourself, that becomes your secret weapon. These 5 secrets I'm about to share with you are not random. They are your psychological body armor. Keep them locked away, or I promise you, you will pay the price. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. What they don't know, they can't control. Number 1, never reveal how far you're willing to go. Look, people are obsessed with your boundaries, but not because they respect them. Oh no, they want to know exactly how close they can get before you finally break. The moment you define your limits, you hand them a blueprint to your control panel. You say, listen, I would never cut somebody off. And what do? They slowly start draining your energy, testing your patience, pushing every single edge, knowing good and well you ain't going nowhere. You say, I'll never retaliate no matter what happens. And suddenly, congratulations, you just became the easiest target in the room. They start acting with arrogance, not courage. Why? Because you already told them you won't fight back. That ain't noble, baby. That's exposure. And in a world ruled by strategy, exposure is suicide. You see, people don't fear who's kind. They fear who's unreadable. They fear the person who can smile at them, but leave the consequences completely up to their imagination. That uncertainty right there, that messes with people's minds. It keeps them in check. But when you define your breaking point, you just handed them the exact GPS coordinates to start chipping away at your self-respect. You made their job easy. Your boundaries stop protecting you and start guiding them instead. So stop explaining what you would or wouldn't do. Stop giving out disclaimers like you're reading terms and conditions. Let your silence be the warning. Let your unpredictability be the answer. You don't need to threaten anybody. You don't need to tell them what's going to happen if they cross you. That's emotional weakness disguised as communication, and I need you to understand that. Real power, true power, is when they think twice before disrespecting you. Not because you made a scene before, but because they have absolutely no idea what you're capable of. That's the kind of respect that keeps people cautious. Not terror, uncertainty. The kind that keeps their actions clean. Not because they respect you, but because they're scared of making the wrong move. Fear of consequences they can't see? That's more paralyzing than 1,000 angry speeches, I promise you. There's a reason Napoleon Bonaparte said, the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. You must be the person who can play both sides. You don't look dangerous, you look thoughtful, composed, but deep inside there's a predator calculating everything silently, and nobody knows when you'll act or how far you'll go. That's how you dominate without ever raising your voice. You don't show rage, you control it. You don't declare your methods, you deploy them when it matters most. Never tell someone how far you're willing to go, because the truth is, even you don't fully know yet. And that right there, that's what makes you dangerous. Let your calm be the storm they didn't prepare for. Let your mystery be the warning that echoes louder than any threat. Because in this world, the ones who speak about their limits often become victims of them. But the ones who stay silent, they become legends of consequence. Number 2, never reveal who influences you. Now listen, there's a reason people ask you who inspires you. It seems like innocent curiosity, right? Wrong. It's a strategic probe, baby. They want to uncover what shapes your thoughts. Because once they know who you admire, they're gonna study them, mimic them, or even worse, use them to manipulate you. If they know what type of mind you absorb information from, they'll start feeding you versions of it that benefit them. They'll twist the voice in your head into something they can control. The moment you say, "This person shaped my thinking," you just became easier to predict. They start watching your next move, expecting it to mirror somebody else's. And if you fall out of line, they'll criticize you by comparing you to the person you once praised. "But your idol would never do that," they'll say. And just like that, your individuality gets chained to someone else's shadow. That's how influence becomes a cage if you expose it. But when you keep that door locked, when nobody knows who whispers wisdom in your ear, you become a mystery they can't decode. You move in silence. You grow in directions they didn't expect. And you evolve without anybody's permission. You become something they can't label. Let me tell you something. People fear what they can't define. Your influences should shape you, not brand you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who inspired your rise. The names you study, the minds you follow in private, they are sacred. They're hidden blueprints that make you dangerous. The moment you give up those names, you give up the map to your mind. And once they see your map, they know exactly where you headed. Even worse, they'll start placing roadblocks before you even arrive. Let your moves speak for themselves. Let your victories hint at influence, but never, ever confirm it. A man who reveals his sources reveals his blueprint. A man who doesn't, he becomes a force of his own. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "A wise man ought always to follow the paths beaten by great men and to imitate those who have been supreme." And he was absolutely right. But he never said to broadcast which path you're walking on. That's where most people fail spectacularly. They confuse influence with identity. And when their idols fall, they fall right along with them. You can learn from everyone and still belong to no one. That's real power, baby. Quiet influence, absorbed in silence, applied without credit. That way, if you ever question, you don't owe anybody any answers. You become the original. You become the source. And here's the honest truth. Most people never learn this. Once they can name your influences, they can imitate your power. But if they can't trace your roots, they can't replicate your tree. They see the fruit, they feel the shade, but they have no idea how deep the roots go. And that's the kind of person they fear. Someone whose mind has been sharpened in the dark by voices they'll never hear. Number 3, never reveal your daily habits. Your daily habits are windows directly into your mind, and the moment someone sees the pattern, they start building traps. You think routines are harmless, a sign of discipline, proof that you're focused on your goals. But discipline, when exposed, becomes a roadmap, and roadmaps are made to be followed, intercepted, or hijacked. The more visible your structure is, the easier it is for people to manipulate you. You post that you run every morning at 6 o'clock. Now they know exactly where you'll be and when your mind is locked into routine. You always check your phone late at night. Now they wait until you're tired to send messages that provoke you, distract you, or manipulate you. The very structure you built to become stronger turns into a script they can exploit. That's not efficiency, my friend. That's vulnerability disguised as consistency. Understand this clearly. Predictability is a weakness, especially in a world where attention is currency and distraction is a weapon. When people know your rhythm, they'll sync with it, not to support you, but to sabotage you. They'll call when you're most available. They'll argue when you're most tired. They'll show up when your guard is completely down. Not because they're smart, but because you gave them the code to your life. There's a reason shadows exist. Movement without pattern, activity without trace. Your habits should be private. Your schedule should be unpredictable. You can be consistent without being obvious about it. Wake early today, sleep late tomorrow. Train in silence. Respond when it's least expected. Move like static electricity. Always active, never readable. Let them try to track you and fail miserably. Let your absence feel calculated. Let your silence feel strategic. Power comes from not being found in the same place twice. When people can't predict you, they can't prepare for you. They start guessing. They lose timing. They miscalculate. And every miscalculation they make is an advantage you gain. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The fool sticks to his routine out of comfort. The wise man adapts before the routine becomes a cage. Because the moment others see your pattern, they stop seeing a person, they see a machine. And machines can be hacked. Erase the trail, break the rhythm, eat at 6 today, skip it tomorrow. Show up unannounced, leave without warning. Make your timing your weapon. Make your inconsistency their frustration. And when they try to figure you out, let them realize they're chasing smoke. Because when no one can trace your daily rhythm, you become more than strategic. You become dangerous, unreadable, untouchable, a force without a pattern. And in the game of power, that's exactly who they fear the most. The person who never moves the same way twice. Number 4, never reveal what you've forgiven. Now, people love to tell you that forgiveness makes you noble, that letting go makes you stronger. But the world doesn't operate on noble ideals, baby. It operates on pressure, leverage, and perception. And when someone knows what you've forgiven, they gain all 3. Think about it for a second. The moment you make it crystal clear that you let something slide, a lie, a betrayal, a public humiliation, they study that reaction. They clock it, not to appreciate your mercy, but to test how far they can push you next time. You didn't call them out, you must be soft. You didn't retaliate, they assume you won't ever retaliate. Forgiveness becomes ammunition, not for you, but for them. And every time you show your tolerance level, you draw the borders of your weakness for them to see. But silence is lethal. When you don't reveal what you let go of, they're left wondering, did he forgive me, or is he just waiting for the right moment? That doubt, that gnawing uncertainty is far more terrifying than open anger, because you haven't given them closure. You've left the wound open in their mind, and now every move they make is haunted by what they think you might do next. Forgiveness should be private, not because you're bitter, but because power doesn't live in making people comfortable. It lives in making them cautious around you. You don't owe them emotional clarity. You don't need to prove that you've healed and moved on. Healing doesn't mean exposure. It means control. And control means never giving away the state of your internal battlefield. Let them believe you've moved on. Let them laugh, thinking you've forgotten about it. Meanwhile, you've adjusted your approach, shifted your proximity to them. You're watching them from a completely new angle now. The enemy who thinks he's safe is the easiest one to neutralize. Not because he's weak, but because his guard is completely down. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "Injuries must be inflicted all at once, so that being tasted but briefly, they give less offense." Forgiveness in this world is the mirror image of that injury. But if you expose your forgiveness too early, if you speak it out loud, you soften the memory of the offense. And when offenses lose their sting, they get repeated. Let the people around you live with that quiet tension. Did it let it go, or is he just biding his time? That's how you become untouchable. You don't react with noise. You don't explain yourself. You just adjust. And when the time is right, you act. Not out of revenge, but precision, not emotionally, but surgically. Forgive internally, strategize externally. Never mix the two, because once they know your threshold for betrayal, they'll start walking right up to the edge of it every single time. But if you hide that threshold completely, no one dares approach it. Uncertainty is control. Silence is pressure. And a person who forgives without speaking it aloud becomes a storm they can't predict, a reckoning they never see coming.
Number 5, never reveal what you're still healing from. Listen, pain is human. We all carry it. Some from childhood, some from betrayal, some from battles no one else will ever understand. But in a world driven by control, manipulation, and silent warfare, pain isn't just pain anymore. It's intelligence, it's information. And the moment you reveal where it lives inside you, you give people the master key to your mind. You say you're still healing from abandonment, someone will test your fear of being alone. You open up about trust issues, someone will promise you loyalty just to break it later and watch how you unravel right in front of them. They don't do it because they're evil. They do it because human nature is opportunistic. When people sense weakness, they either avoid it or they exploit it. And if they can't feel your wounds, they don't know how to move around you. That confusion, that keeps you in power. Never let them trace your pain back to its source. Once they know what hurt you, they start watching you like you're a specimen under a microscope, testing your reactions, poking at triggers, gauging which words sting and which silences shake you to your core. What was once your personal story becomes their strategy manual. Your vulnerability becomes their script. And you become readable, predictable, breakable. But when they don't know what damaged you, when they can't see where the cracks are, they assume there are none.
That's not denial, baby. That's defense. You don't deny your history. You just stop offering it to people who haven't earned the right to know it. You don't owe anyone a roadmap to your past just because they ask with soft eyes and sweet words. Not everyone wants to understand you. Some people just want leverage over you. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "He who builds on the people builds on mud." That includes building your healing on the sympathy, validation, or perception of others. You don't need their understanding. You don't need them to know what you survived. You don't need their applause for walking through hell and coming out the other side. You need one thing: silence. The kind of silence that protects you while you rebuild yourself, that shields you while you grow sharper, stronger, colder in your approach. The kind of silence that makes your enemies guess and fear what they cannot see in you. Because healing is sacred. It's not theater. It's not conversation material.
It's war. Quiet, personal war. And when you come out of it, you don't announce it to the world. You walk back into the world as if you were never wounded to begin with. You move with the confidence of someone who built themselves in the dark and came out forged in fire. Let the world meet you when you're whole. Let them wonder what made you this calm, this collected, this unshakable in every situation. Never hand them your pain and expect protection in return. Hide it. Heal in silence, and return as someone no one ever expected, because they never saw the cracks to begin with. The world we live in thrives on noise. Everyone's talking, posting, confessing on social media as if visibility equals power. But what they don't realize is this simple truth: the more they reveal, the easier they are to break. Every honest update, every emotional post, they're laying out the blueprint of their own destruction. And while they're out here chasing validation, you've chosen a different weapon entirely: silence. You don't speak for attention. You move in shadows because that's where real power lives and breathes. You're not unreadable because you're lost. You're unreadable because you're in complete control. Every unanswered question about you is a wall they can't climb over. They can't predict you. They can't prepare for you. They can't control what they can't understand about you. Napoleon Bonaparte understood this principle perfectly. He knew that strategy isn't about showing strength to everyone. It's about making people guess where that strength actually lives. That's who you've become now, a ghost in the room, a storm behind calm eyes. They'll see you smile and never know what it really means. They'll hear your silence and feel pressure they can't even name. They'll try to understand you and fail every single time. That failure right there, that's your power. So if this video hit something deep inside you, if it reminded you who you really are and what you're truly capable of, then it's time to move different, like the shadow, like the force nobody saw coming. Subscribe to the channel right now. Tap that like button so others can find this wisdom too. And most importantly, keep your mouth shut and your mind sharp. From now on, you don't chase influence. You become the force that moves without being seen. The game isn't about being known by everyone. It's about being untouchable. And you are becoming unstoppable.